G'day and welcome back to Duckzorly Gaming and episode 12 of the Valley, the Old Farm Let's Play series. So, we're going to continue on with our setting up of our fields. In fact, we're going to start harvesting our fields once the wet crops go. Pull up the map and let's see where we're up to. Okay, so as we can see down through here, we have got a couple of extra fields. Now, the reason for this is we bought a couple of extra fields because we didn't really have enough to go on and keep on going, and I figured that with the amount of fields we've got and the amount of gameplay we're going to get out of it, we just needed a couple of extra fields to sort of basically change it up a bit, so a bit of variation. So I know we've sort of changed our mind from when we started, but anyway, we'll move on from there. So just ignore what we said previously and we'll just keep on going from here. So what have we got? We've now got fields 61, 64, 65, 66, 67, 85. So they're all down through here, and some of them are obviously ready to be harvested. We'll go through what crops there at the moment. 65 is in growth stage, 85 and 84 are grass, 92 and 91 our existing fields are in grass. We've also bought field 52 and we've got field 60. So let's have a look at what we've got. So at the moment we've got corn in field 60 and field 65. Now both of those are in the last stage of growing, so they shouldn't be too far off being ready to harvest, which means we're going to need to buy a corn header because we haven't got a corn header for the harvester as yet. Although we might end up just leasing a new harvester, we'll just see how we go. 66, 67 and 64, they all have wheat, okay, and they are all in the ready to harvest stage, so we're going to start harvesting those. Field 61 has canola, it's also ready to harvest, as too is field 52. So we've got a lot of harvesting to get done now, as you can see through here. Let's have a look at our grass state. So our grass fields are also ready to harvest. So 84, 85, 91. 93 is not ready to harvest as yet. That was a previous grass field. 62 we need to go through our cycle of ploughing and getting that prepped ready for the next growth stage and cycle. And our field at the top here, field 2, that is also need to be prepped. Now we do also have 24, 25, 26 over here. So as you can see, we've got another corn field, so we've got plenty of corn coming in, so we'll be able to sell a bit of that off and make some money hopefully. And field 25 has got barley, 26 is our grass field. So our barley field is ready to harvest. Our corn field, it too, is in its last stage of growing. So once we've finished harvesting all the wheat, we should be in a position where we have to harvest all the corn. So let's go and get started. Now we've got a lot of our equipment we've pre-positioned down here ready to go. We're going to bale some of the straw, and what we need to do is find our harvester and get him down there, if he's not already down there. I can't remember if I put him down there or not. Where is he? Here he is. Yes, he is down there. Okay. Alright, there we go. So, what are we going to do first? Well, our barley is ready, isn't it? Our canola, I mean. So let's we'll go over and we'll get the wheat and the straw, because we can get to work with baling and all that sort of stuff as well. So that's what we'll do. Nothing like making decisions on the fly. All right. So we're well and truly on our way now on this farm, and it's been some good fun. So what we're going to do with this guy is we're going to put him on a courseplay course, and then as he's going around and harvesting the wheat, we can start collecting up all the straw and baling it and dealing with that as we need to. So what we'll do is we'll bring up our courseplay control. We'll go over here. Now we are talking about field 64. Whoops, get rid of that again. So we dial in field 64. Working with 4.4 meters. Starting location, we're going to set to be starting from here. And in fact, no, we're not. What have we got? Let's have a look at the orientation. What we'll do is we're going to start from the northeast. And we're going to head south. And we're going to put 3 headers in. And it's going to do clockwise headers. I'm going to do 3 of them before it does the up and down. Okay, bypass islands we don't have to worry about, and we haven't got multiple combines. Over in here, nothing to worry about there. We will put here stop during unloading activated, which is set. Headland reverse maneuver is straight. We'll do that as curved. Driver priorities distance. Not going to worry about that because we're not putting our what's names on course play. And what we will do is we'll also save this course very quickly. So once we've calculated it, so calculate that up, have a look. Everything looks good there. We're going to save that as field 64 combine 4.4 meter. Okay, now what we'll do is we'll go over here, set it to first waypoint, drive course. Now he'll make his own way over to the start point, which is just down here, and then he will begin harvesting. Now by doing it this way, the way I've just done that then, I don't have to pre-cut any of this, even though I've got crop destruction on. And so what of course, I should have thought about it. So what he's now going to do, he's waiting until the crop dries. So what we can do is we can head over down here and see what other equipment we've got out here ready to go. And as soon as that begins to dry off, we'll see him moving on. So here we have our tractor and trailer ready to collect from the combine. So what we're going to do is we're going to move him over here to the field where we're going to be working, but just far enough away that he's not going to be in the way of the combine. So if we put him just here, he's right out of the way. Okay, what we'll do is we'll just accelerate the time once more, so we're on 15 time, and we'll go from there. Okay, shut the engine off. What else we got down through here? Go for a bit of a run. So we've got down here our baler, and we've got our big A. So across here we have a relatively big grass field waiting to go. So what we're going to do there is we are going to send the big A over on this field on his own. He's going to do a course play, so we're going to have a hired hand basically mow this field. We will then manually get the windrower and we'll collect it all up and we'll bale up some grass. Now what we do need to also do is we need to buy a round baler and also a wrapper, because we want to actually start producing some silage bales. However, we haven't really got the funds for that at the moment. So for the moment, we just have to deal with what we've got. So that is basically just doing square bales. Okay. So let's have a look at where we're looking at for our harvest. So all of our crops basically are coming into harvest, which is where we're at now, obviously. So our wheat, barley, canola is all ready to harvest, our sunflowers, potatoes, and sugar beet. Of course, our oilseed radish, poplar, and grass. And we've got 4 days, until we get to winter. And if we look at the forecast, we have a bit of snow coming on the Sunday. So we've got to get as much of this stuff in as we can with it before we get too much rain damage or rain to delay our harvesting, and then get everything in and stored before the snow hits. All right. So what we'll do is we'll get the big A, our little Massey Ferguson, and we'll set up his course play. So we're going to be on field 84. So we dial in field 84. Now, if you don't know how to use course play, I strongly recommend, and I'll put a link up on the screen, the top right-hand corner, sorry. My recommendation is you go and check out Grizzly Bear Sims's tutorials. They are beyond reproach. They are fantastic, and that's how I learned how to use course play. And I thoroughly recommend you go and grab those and have a look. So we're going to set up to start in the southeast corner, which is this corner down through here, what it should be, and then we're going to work to the west. So we're going to work out this way, and then it's going to go back and forth through the west. Now we are going to set up headers, and because this is fairly narrow, we're going to do 6. Okay. And that should be pretty much right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to calculate the course, have a look. Yep, that looks okay. There's nothing going off the field that we can see, and we should be good to go. So again, actually what we'll do this time, let's have a look. No, what have we done then? So it's misinterpreted the course. Oh no, I did north. Okay, so I stuffed up then and did northwest, northeast. Did I? Southeast. Southeast. Well, why has that done that? Southeast. Yeah, anyway. It's close enough. It'll do. We'll work with that. So we'll just bring him over to near the starting point so he doesn't go wandering. And hopefully our our wet crops will dissipate very soon. And what we'll do the same thing with him. We'll just tell him to start at the first waypoint, and that'll be good to go. So I need one of the other tractors down here to run the baler. Although we can use this one in the interim because we're not going to do baling and windrowing at the same time. In fact, we'll windrow the straw as well, so the baler's not going to be used straight away. So that's okay. What we'll do is we'll just accelerate. We want to get rid of this wet crop condition. Remove that. We should see when the harvester should take off automatically as soon as we lose the crop, the wet crop condition. Don't want to go too fast because otherwise we'll got to be close. Waiting. So our soil temperature is the same temperature as our ambient air temperature at the moment, 11 degrees. So we're a nice, relatively warm weather. Crone is on sale. Oh, that's a shame. We've got no money. Great demand for sugarcane. That's a shame we haven't got any sugarcane. Great demand for sunflowers. That doesn't help us either. I don't think any of our crops are sunflowers at the moment. Right, I'll give it another boost up. There we go. All right. So as you can see up the top left hand side, the harvester has started up and he's on his way. As you can see him there, he's just heading off. That's all good. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get this guy started. So set him up for first waypoint, drive course. He'll bring himself into the starting area here. And off he goes. Close it off. Alright, so he's going to merrily go along and mow that field. And then we'll be good to go. So what we'll do is we'll jump out here. Let him go on his merry way. And we'll grab the Ford. And we'll go for a drive up and see what is going on. So I hope this video finds you all well. We're very glad to be back here on the Valley of the Old Farm, where I keep saying it, I know, but I'm just loving this map. Now, the interesting conversation was had, I think it was on Farmer Klein's live stream, if I remember correctly, in relation to maps and how people like maps and dislike other maps, all that sort of stuff. It is quite interesting because there's a few people that don't like this map as much. I think it's too sort of hilly or too not flat for some of the smaller equipment. And you know what? That's part of the challenge. I'm sorry. As much as everyone has their own opinion of their fields and all that sort of stuff. And yes, I'll agree. Like field 91, for instance, is a pain to just mow because it does take a lot of work to get up and down there. But in general, it is just a fantastic map, and having the undulations makes it more enjoyable, in my opinion. Now, in saying that, there's some good maps that are very flat though too. But you know what? Personally, I don't have a problem with it, and I reckon it's great. It adds that little extra bit of challenge, because obviously you've got to use equipment, or especially the way we're playing this one, using equipment that's not as powerful as some of the modern equipment. So you have to adjust sometimes what you're doing and not be overzealous in what you expect to do. So instead of going up and down the slope directly, you go across the slope. So you actually change the way you would normally do things. So you may normally run your headers and then come in and do the rest, but because of the slope you may end up just doing a standard across the field, so left and right, or north, south, east, west, whatever the case may be. But so what we're going to do is so the maps we've already spoken about, but I think having the variation in the undulations is fantastic and makes for a great map. Now we're obviously going to be windrowing this very soon. I can turn off the indicator now. What we might do is we might just wait. Oh, actually no, let's have a look. Unfold him. We can start doing this. It's the baling I don't want to do too early, because it will just cause possible incidents where the combine gets caught up on a bale. And normally I'd probably try and windrow 3 rows in at one go, but it's right on the borderline of the width of this. So what we'll do is we'll just do the 2, and that way we can start baling probably a little bit sooner rather than later. Put on cruise control and we'll head on round. If we get to the point where we catch up to the combine, we can always just quickly shift down and start doing some of the grass and sort of time share, because we haven't got that many more workers. And I did sort of say at the start of this series that I would limit ourselves to 1, maybe 2 hired hands at any one time. So we've got the 2 at the moment, so that's what we'll leave it at. Because I mean, otherwise it's sort of, I mean, you look at some of the other maps, like particularly where my upcoming, I haven't released any yet, Broad Acres version 2 map, that will be very heavy on course play and helpers, so like up to 20 AI workers at a time. So instead of actually having too many that are using that sort of gameplay style, we'll sort of minimise that. Anyway, all right. Well, it seems like we're going to catch up to the. What we can do is, while we're doing this, we can go in cab, because we can see exactly where we are. We don't have to get the overhead view so much with this, and we are catching up to him quite quickly. So what we'll do. Now just gone in cab, we'll come back out again, and I'll just stop there. We'll race down through this way, and we'll go and do the grass. Actually, what we need to do is we need to go and get the other tractor and empty out the combine, because he's almost full. He's at 86%. Noticed that his pipe was out, so we might go and do that first. Alright. Okay, here we get. I love this little tractor. I reckon this one's great. Alright, let's go. He's at 92%. We might get to him just before he gets 100%. See, like just these slopes, it's just makes you just sort of work a bit for a living, and makes the tractors and the implements and all that do a little bit extra work, especially at these lower levels of horsepower and stuff. It makes it a lot more interesting. So. Now he should stop once he starts. There he goes. Right, so now what we'll do is we'll leave him sitting there. He'll finish unloading the combine, and the combine will quite happily move along. And we'll grab the Ford over here and we'll head down and do some of the grass. Okay. Interesting. Accelerator didn't want to work. Right, we're off and running now. So with the grass field and windrowing, we might be able to do the 3 rows there. So we might be lucky. Might be able to get a bit more of that done in the one go. But we'll see how we go. There you go. So he's just finished in offloading. So he's moving along now. You can see the big A's been busy. He's already done 4 headers. No, it's the same. We're only going to get the 2 with this. So that's okay. Alright, and we'll get started with this one. In fact, we'll probably end up getting this one done completely before going back to the straw. Now, we had contemplated doing this one as hay, but I've decided that this one here will be done as grass. The next 2 we'll do as hay. I would like to get to a point where we can actually make enough money to buy a round baler, but at the moment we're going to be a bit far off that, I think. So we'll just have to see. Bit of a interesting shaped field, this one. It becomes a very tight corner over there on the northern side of the field, but nothing we can't handle. Got the rear. All right. So what we'll end up doing is we'll end up calling this episode relatively soon. It's not going to be an overly long episode. And then what we'll end up doing is we'll probably finish a fair bit of these 2 fields, and the end part of the fields will come back to the next episode, and we'll finish those off, and then start with what we're going to do on the next fields, and progress that way. I'm not going to make you sit through 30-minute episodes of just windrowing or whatever else each time. We do need to try and shake it up a little bit, otherwise you'll get bored and you just won't view anything at all. Come around the top end here, the northern side. As you can see, it's effectively becomes a very tight hairpin as we turn. It becomes a little bit problematic, particularly for the collection trailers, what do they call them? Can't remember the actual name they give them in the game. But yeah, turning those and picking up can be problematic sometimes. You tend to leave a fair bit behind in the corners, but we should be okay there. So the big A's doing his what's he doing? East-west rotations now. He's finished doing the headers. So we just have to be mindful now when we're coming round to the eastern and western side of the field that we don't collect him as we're going through. As you can see, the combine up there on field 64, he's also started his north-south runs. He's finished his header rows. So it's all progressing nicely. Righto. Here we go. Make sure we pick the right one. We don't want to go and redo what we've just done. Alright, So about this time I normally let you know about the communities to go check out, and all the my good buds to go check out on YouTube. So down below in the comments I list the 2 communities I'm a part of, which is the 3 Dudes Gaming Network and PCSG. So I encourage you to go check them out. The links for both of those communities are down below in the comments. So please, if you haven't already done so, go check them out. Very friendly, wonderful environments, and there is never such a thing as a dumb question over in either of those communities. And if you have a problem with something, whether it be modding, the Giants editor, gameplay, strategy, seasons, whatever else, you'll get very quick and prompt and accurate answers from everyone that's over there as part of those communities. And you can also have a lot of good fun as well. So please do so. Similarly, down below is a list of all the guys that I like to watch regularly. So the likes of Grizzly Bear Sims, a good friend Eustace Pharmer, Farmer Klein, DoughBoy, Reefy 1952, all those sorts of guys. Wonderful videos, farming sim, all the like. Some are role play, some are not. But get in and have a look, have a chat, and get involved with them. Leave them a like, subscribe to the channels, all that sort of stuff. And obviously, give me a like and subscribe to my channel if you're not already a subscriber. Certainly enjoy having you join us as we go down the farming agricultural route in Farming Simulator 17 as I become tongue-tied again. And we just look to have some fun and just share our gameplay experiences. But yeah, so feel free. Alright, well on that note, we'll basically sign off at this point, and we will see you back here at the Valley of the Old Farm when next you join Duckzorly Gaming as we continue on with our harvesting of these fields. So I hope you had fun. This is Duckzorly wishing you a wonderful afternoon, evening, morning, whatever it is, wherever you are in the world. And you take care, and we shall see you again very, very soon. See you later. Bye.